Hello all and welcome back to High Ridge Farm with me, the Walrus. We are in our final few days of the spring season here on High Ridge Farm, and I still have a lot of things that I need to acquire. Now, one of the things that I hoarded in a episode last couple of episodes was sap. And I desperately need the stuff. I know it looks real stupid and I'm selling and trashing all sorts. But frustratingly, I need a silly amount of sap because it'll allow me to actually make the fertilizer I need. And I know it's an important and ridiculous thing, but quality of crops and all. Now, one of the things that I would like to attempt to do today is to get down to floor 100 in the Skull Caves without eating any food. Now, of course, to assist in this, I have eaten a spicy eel and some ginger beer because they give you, well, ginger ale, sorry. I would call it ginger beer because that's what colloquially we Brits call it. Now, of course, the things that I'm needing that for are the speed boost and the luck. The luck is the more important, I would consider, because the luck gives me that wonderful boost to my likelihood of finding holes to jump down. So, let's see how well we can do here. We're already on floor 3, which isn't too bad, but we've still got a long way to go. Hopefully, if we can get a few good drops, we'll, make a few shortcuts. And that's really what we're after. Now, one of the things as part of this challenge is to murderize the absolute heck out of every slime that I see. Because slimes give me extra health. Because they can't hurt me. And being able to heal myself from their death is phenomenally helpful. But we will see on that one. Okay, so we've got some energy tonic. And we've got a dirty great big hole. Where's that gonna go? Let's find out. Oh my goodness, that's not a fun floor. That's a lot of serpents. That's a lot of the slime I'm not worried about. It's the serpents that are annoying. Well, they're dead now. And we've just got a bunch of slimes to kill to get some health, which is kind of what we're after here now. Well, at least it was a good drop down. We're at floor 14 already now, so that was a good jump. We only need 86 floors to go. Don't worry, I'm not going to start singing as if it was 100 bottles of beer on the wall. 1, because I can't sing, and 2, I don't want to. There would have to come a certain point where I'll actually start singing voluntarily. And I know I've done a couple of horrific renditions of awful things so far, but I am painfully aware that I cannot sing at all. Tone deaf me. Which is very frustrating. I learned how to play the piano. And, yeah, you have to sing as part of piano examinations in the UK. As silly as that might sound for those who are not musicians, you have to be able to prove that you can play by ear. So you have to be able to replicate certain noise, and it's one of those things like, well, that's literally impossible for me. I'm too much of a moron. I physically can't. Sorry. So, that kind of sucks. Now, of course, we've still got more enemies to slice our way through here. Hopefully we can actually manage it. Because, well, shockingly enough, we'd quite like to do that. Okay, so we've got some more iridium ore. That's not the end of the world. Iridium ore. This sort of stage in the game where I don't really need that many iridium bars, I could use it, as weird as it is, as ammunition for the slingshot. The trouble is, I don't get on with the slingshot. I don't know whether it's just because I'm an idiot, or that I just cannot seem to get my head around how to actually get it to work as well as I would like, especially when I'm using a controller, because that is a personal preference of mine on this one, is I prefer to use a game controller rather than a mouse and keyboard. It's one of those little oddities. I find fishing easier with it, And yes, I know there's a level of lack of control in some aspects, especially when I'm putting things into the kegs and such. But it is one of those things that I like to be able to sit back, put it on my big screen, as I have essentially in my home office. I have a TV that is my second monitor, and being able to play video games on it is just kind of nice and therapeutic. And being able to sit back in the chair is a bit nicer. I'm painfully aware it's essentially me being lazy, but oh well. Okay, so we're going to head on down. It's quite odd for me to get the urge to go, right, okay, we're here, we're going to just jump straight down and ignore the resources that are here, because my inherent collector brain goes, ooh, but we could use that. And it's like, yes, but we have a challenge. If we want it, we can get it later. That's not the end of the world. And it's a conflict of my brain, I will definitely admit. Now, any areas that are quite challenging, like right now where my health is it's just too low, I'm getting out of here. I can't risk it. Okay, maybe let's see if I get another floor down. If it was full of slimes, yeah. If it's full of slimes, then I'll stay, because they can't hurt me and I can just heal. If there's a bunch of serpents, however, then I'm getting out of here. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. Okay, no. I don't feel safe enough. Right, we're leaving. Okay. Let's heal up. It's still early in the day. Let's heal up and go and do it again. I feel that I can do it. It shouldn't be too hard, surely, but I can do it. I know I can. Right, I should have just drunk the energy tonic, shouldn't I? That would have been like a sensible way of doing it. But no. I, the walrus, have to be a moron. Because that's just how my brain works. As in, it doesn't. Righty. Anyway. So we're going to deposit the things we need. And get ready to go. Nope. Okay, so I don't need any of those. So we're going to open our inventory up again, and we're going to get ourselves ready to go. So I do still have some spicy eel, and I do have you know what, I do have the ginger ale. I was just having a think there. Would that be more viable? Yeah, it would. I'm going to head back to the house, and I'm going to go and grab these prismatic shards, because the rock candy is available today. It does cost 3 prismatic shards, but the massive boosts you gain, 5 to each of your stats, I think. It's just absurd. It's like really good. And honestly, that's going to be really helpful. Like, why would I not want to do this? It makes sense. Perfect sense to me. Whether it's particularly viable is a very different question. But we're going to drink the ginger ale for the luck boost, because again, we need the luck. I'm going to eat the magic rock candy, and off we go. Now, the fun thing with the magic rock candy, for me, it just reminds me of swizzle sticks, but not the candy that I used to have as a kid. The ones that you'd see as a thing that you might find available for alcoholic beverages. Which might sound very silly, but I remember seeing in my parents' house in their booze cupboard that they didn't really entertain like having lots of fancy cocktails or anything. But I remember seeing in their cupboard this pack of what were essentially like sugar, which you would then put in a drink as like certain particular fancy cocktails, I think. I don't know like much around the background of them, but it's something I vaguely remember seeing. Now, being that it's over on monsters, we're just going to jump down. We're going to cheat and just bypass it, because I'm not going to bother with that. Right, I'm going to blow up this large area, try and get... There we go, there's a way down. And some more spicy eel. Lovely. Again, not very useful right now, but, you know, it's going to be useful in the future. When that future is... maybe a couple of days, who knows. Right. If I don't manage to get down to the bottom of the mines then yeah. I think the bottom, sorry. Floor 100, then yes, it'll be later on. Okay, so let's flatten our way through these. So we're on floor 13 already. So it's not too bad. We're getting some decent progress. And it's still quite early in the day. It's still only 3:30. If we're clever about it, we can probably get down there. It's just working the way down, making sure that we don't take any unnecessary risks, which is why I just teleported straight back, because I started taking risks, and when I take risks, I make stupid decisions, and bad stuff happens. Which I think is generally a rule of thumb for most people, is usually when you start taking risks, bad stuff happens, and Sod's Law goes, hear me out, you don't deserve to be alive, or you deserve to have some punishment here. So I'm going to grab that diamond, I'm just going to slap this. Now, another part is, I know because I've got the iridium trash can, I know it doesn't quite give you the same value, like not 100% of value, but it gives you a good chunk of the value. So throwing things into it, I don't feel too bad. Which, you know, I'm still making some money, because otherwise it's going to be on the floor. And there's a lot of things that just get flung in there and just disposed of, because I don't need them, really. And that's just how that's going to work. And the thing is, there are certain resources that I have in mind that I need more of. Like, I don't really need very many of the gemstones. They're useful, but not that useful. It's things like, annoyingly, sap and stone and wood. They're the useful things now. It's come to that point in the game where they're the useful bits, and that annoys me. Because it's like, ugh, they're not even interesting. If they were interesting resources, that'd be good. But I also know that I need more slime so I can make more cheese presses, if memory serves, because that's what you need them for. And then what else do I need slime for? There's a couple of other weird and wonderful things. I know you could use them to make slime eggs, which you can sell, but I'm not sure how viably useful that actually is. Okay, so we're getting further down, which is good. We're not struggling too much. I mean, with floor 32, it's not like we're struggling too hard on getting down, which is nice and all. So I don't fear how far we're getting, which is good. Let's have a look. So we've got more slimes to murder, which is good. Again, just flatten the slimes, get ourselves a better resources, and generally be ready, I guess. That's kind of all I can say on that one. Okay, what do I want to get rid of? So, again, excuse my throat there. I don't need the cave carrots. I can't eat them, not while I'm down here, because they are virtually useless to me, in that I can't eat anything to restore my health or stamina. I need to refrain from doing so, which is annoying, really, but that's what I have to do. And, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Right, okay, so keep going down. So we've got some stone, fine. I'm going to blast our way through this. There's another hole. Excellent, it's going to jump down 4 levels. That's good, another shortcut. We're down to floor 40. Again, it's going okay. Blow a fat hole in there. We've got another hole in the ground. Excellent, so let's leap down that. It's going to take a chunk off our health, though. Another 4 levels. Okay, so what have we got now? So we've got a diamond vein here and some health from the slimes. And I think that's a weapon of some description. Which weapon is that? What do I want to get rid of? Let's just get rid of the quartz. Not the quartz. There we go. Things that I don't really need. I want the quartz, again, because I want to be able to make more of the planters. So again, that's another resource. Even though it's not very valuable, it's valuable to me at this moment in time. So, unfortunately, there is that ever illustrious phrase, there is method to the madness. And unfortunately, that is kind of how my brain is operating right now. I'm pretending there is some method to my madness. Okay, so we're going to blow up this corner here. And murder this slime for a bit of health. Okay, so we've got another ladder down, so let's go down. That's fine. Okay, so floor 46. Hopefully nothing too untoward occurs. Like, we haven't had a Pepper Rex floor, which is probably good, I guess. I mean, I've killed a bunch of Pepper Rexes recently, so I now know I have done the required kills on Pepper Rexes as well as on everything else, whatever they're called. The serpents. That's the one. Okay, so we've got another quartz. That's good. What else are we going to be able to obtain here? Well, we've got another passage down, so that's good. I'm going to ignore the purple mushroom. Again, I would probably go straight for it if I had the opportunity, but again, don't care right now. Gold ore, again, don't care, because I have it. I have lots of it. The iron ore is probably one that I should probably start flinging as well, because again, I don't really need it. Not in the same way as I need anything else. The thing that's kind of hampering me with the ores as well, because I do have quite a stash of them hiding in one of my chests, is that I don't have the coal to smelt them, because of course I am turning coal into preserves jars, because of course that requires 8 of them at a time. Ah, so there's a Pepper Rex. I'd mentioned that they weren't there, and now there is one. So I don't need the warp home to farm, because shockingly enough, I've got a scepter that does that, so I don't care. Okay. So we're going to get further down as best we can. So another ladder. So that's good. Floor 52. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Every floor we go down, that's another floor done. The rubies are tempting, potentially. But again, I don't need the ruby for anything. Because again, I've given all the gems to the museum. The only real thing that I could potentially use rubies and such for would be... Well, other than selling them, I could use them as gifts for Emily. She's particularly fond of gems of any description, so she could be a recipient of gemstones, I guess. But I don't know. Okay, so we've got another way down, so let's go down here. Okay, what do we got in this chest? We've got the white turban. That's a cute little hat. I like that. So that's the thing, is I'm also getting hats, which is fun. What do I want to get rid of? Well, slime isn't as useful as the sap, annoyingly. So we'll keep the sap and we'll get rid of the slime. So I'm going to blow a fat hole here, and we've got some more ore, coal even. I nearly said ores there, so let's keep going. Okay, so we've got some ghosts. They need to go away. They're just annoying more than anything. They're not a threat as much, but they are irritating more than anything. Ugh, goodness, go away. Okay, so we'll kill those. What next? Well, again, we're getting lots of iridium, but again, don't really need iridium at the moment, as I do have a decent quantity of it. I'm not worried about iridium as a resource, which it might sound a bit daft, but it's one that I've got access to. Okay, red cowboy hat. I think I've already got... I do have one already in my inventory. I don't really need 2, do I? I mean, maybe. I could probably put it on one of my... my one child. Although, the one I really want to put on my child's head is the bin lid. Mostly because... It's funny. To me, at least. Who knows? Right, let's keep going. So, 86. We're very nearly there. It's nearly midnight. So, yes, time is going to start becoming a bit of a pressure. But, if we can get down there... What I need is a good shaft to turn up so we can just throw ourselves down it. And get ourselves very close to the bottom. So we're at... Goodness gracious, this is getting a bit hairy, isn't it? Come on, go away. Okay, so we're at 89. It's a good way down. we are a good chunk of the way down to the bottom. And that's kind of the important thing. We need to be, the closer we are to the bottom, the better. Come on. I'm just going to start using the staircases at this point, because they're going to be probably the most sensible thing for me to do, because that'll allow me to just bypass it, and I don't really care. It's not like Mr. Key mentions it this time round, at least. So floor 95. Come on. If we don't find a stair, like a hole in the ground, like almost immediately, we will just use one of these staircases I've quickly made. Nope. So let's use a staircase. Yeah, don't care about that. Got some more geodes. Again, the geodes I'm holding on to because I want to use them as turn them into the treasure troves, because they're kind of useful. And slap that down, and then one more, just one more floor. If we don't find a hole down, we will just. Ooh, that's a lot of shinies, though, isn't it? You can tell my greedy brain's kicking in here. But, you know, greedy brain hit me. There we go, floor 100. We've got 242 key gems. Good grief. We have to go to Ginger Island tomorrow, don't we? No ifs and or buts now. Well, we did it. It took 2 attempts on the same day, but we didn't hurt ourselves. We didn't suffer. We didn't, like, end up injuring ourselves. So, you know, I feel good about that because I didn't end up ruining my own day. So, okay, so we're going to head on back into the house once I reorganize and redistribute what we've got here. Right. So, it's too late for me to bother grabbing everything, I think. I'll sort that out tomorrow. I don't care too much. Yes, it does affect the refresh rate, because, of course, you have to have them harvested before they try and refresh again. But we're done. We did it. We got to floor 100. So, Pierre's missing stock list is going to be the item I think I'm going to go and purchase today, because I think that's a very important item. Like, surely that's, like, the most important of the items I haven't purchased yet, right? I think, well, that's what I feel, at least. Anyway, so we're going to head on through a little bit of harvesting today, because now that I feel achieved in that I have managed to get down to floor 100, I've got a few crops that I can quickly harvest and, you know, get some resources from. And that's kind of important. Just make sure that everything's done. Now, so there's my entire greenhouse of ancient fruit, and I feel quite pleased with that. But star fruit is something that I hadn't really thought about. Now, it's going to sound really silly, but I've realised that star fruit is the crop that I haven't shipped out a lot of, because, of course, I've been using them for wine all the time, which means that I haven't shipped out the 25 of them that I need to ship out to achieve the perfection parts of, like, you know, the achievements. Which, you know, again, very important and very silly that I haven't done so. So that's going to be a major component of part of my tasks coming with the summer. Now, I think that the current layout might not be very organised, but it does give me 2 areas of land that can be harvested by Junimos. Because the problem really comes, I mean, I could grow some more starfruit and I could plant another Junimo hut in above the farm, like the barns, and I could probably reposition the barns. I think that might not be a bad idea, to be fair. Reorganize that area of animals. I've given them a lot of space. I feel bad if I don't give them a lot of space, though. And it sounds really silly, but it's like, but I don't want to be mean to the animals. That would be horrible. But at the same time, I also know that's very silly, because they are virtual animals that don't actually matter. But at the same time, no, I don't want to. It's the same idea of, like, I find it difficult to be evil in video games. It's playing Overlord was a hilarious point for me, because that one, you are evil. You are literally evil. You can't help it. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll do this. And then you sort of, like, turns out you're not actually as evil as you thought. which was a shame. Because, you know, I was like, oh, I can deal with this. I can deal with it. I have to be evil. I've got no choice. Oh, hang on. I'm actually not as evil as I thought. Great. Ah, well. Righty. So, we're going to sort out the animal resources that we have here. Because we do have lots of animal resources. Lots of milk, lots of eggs that all need processing. Now, there are a few... not challenges, but some of the tasks that are set on the billboards that I've not ever done. And I do kind of aim to work my way through ones that I've not done before, if they are presented to me. So we'll see if that happens. Now, look at that. We've got all of these lovely jams and preserves to go through today. And that will be lovely. Now, again, apologies if my voice sounds a bit different at the moment. I am recovering a little bit still from a sore throat and a cough and cold. So I probably sound a little bit worse for wear. So apologies if I sound particularly bizarre. But for the time being, I'm going to ignore it. Now, we've got all of these roe that have been aged. We've got all of the pickles. You know, all the lovely shiny things that we want to sell to make money. Because we want 1 million so that we can buy the Statue of Endless Fortune. And then we're going to need 950,000 and a bunch of wood. I think 950 as well. To help sort out Pam's house. Now, part of me is like, oh, gotta be nice to Pam. But at the same time, I do know that I view her in a very dim... I have a very dim view of her as a character. And I'm trying to be more open to her. In the same way, I'm trying to be more open to Elliot, even though I find him insufferable. Demetrius is a lost cause. He can go away. He can live in the bin. I literally care not for him. He is awful. And I hate him. There is no redeeming quality of that man. Other than his wife. She is literally the only redeeming quality that he has. Wow, I sound like so... I do genuinely sound terrible there. But I'm not wrong. I do generally find him atrocious. So, we've got our large quantity of preserved cakes. You can still see there's more that need to be laid down in there. Because there's still more room. And that's kind of how that works, is I need more stuff and more sorted. Okay, so we've got a bunch of wine ready as well, which is lovely. And a bunch of its ancient fruit. I'm probably going to sell a bunch of the stuff that isn't ancient fruit wine. Because, again, I don't need it as much. But, hey, that's just how that's working at the moment. Because ancient fruit wine is kind of the more important of the resources. As star fruit, again, it's good. But I'm going to need it more as the production sort of catches up. Because I can't produce ancient fruit at the same rate at which I can produce star fruit. Especially now with the growing shed that's now built. One of the things I also want to do is change the layout a little bit of the kegs and preserve jars to match the way that I've laid out the planting pots, because they add extra space for me to put more in. And again, more alcohol production, the better. Because that's kind of the big jam here. I want to be able to make as much booze as physically possible. That's exactly how this works. Okay, so let's go back through. Speak here. So grab the stuff from the Junimos. I mean, not much, but they've done what they can. They've harvested what they are able to. The precious little Junimo. Okay, what's next? So yeah, we're like at 893,912 guinea pigs. And my goodness, that'd be an absurd amount of them. It'd be ridiculous. But yeah, we've got loads of them. And we do need a lot. We need a little bit more to make the improvements. But of course, I'm going to have to buy a bunch of more seeds and other, miscellanea. So it's going to be somewhat of a thing. that I still need to achieve and work my way through. It doesn't bother me so much. It's just something that I need to do. Okay. So let's prepare myself. I'm going to ride over here. Now, as part of today, I'm going to use some of the magic bait that I've got, that I made, and I'm going to try and catch that one remaining fish, which I believe was commented by a commenter that it was the Dorado. So I'm going to do my darndest to find and catch a Dorado here in the river. I believe they are in this river stream. And once I've caught it, then I will have caught all of the fish. So again, that's another part of the completion done. Now, excuse me, as I mentioned in a previous video, my aim is to achieve perfection within 3 years. I think that's perfectly reasonable. It's perfectly feasible. And of course, what's going to happen is the 1.6 update will drop before I manage that. And I will have to essentially start all over again. And that will make me cry a little bit. But that's just how the cookie crumbles. And again, that's what I deserve. So let's see what nonsense happens to me today. So I'm going to catch this fish, whatever on earth it is. And hopefully being the operative word, we will catch the Dorado. Now, what are you? You're very agitated, aren't you? Goodness, you're a gripe. Absolute swine. Get on the line and stay on the line, will you? Please. I just want to catch things. So there's a langcod. I mean, they are quite finicky fish, so that kind of makes sense. What's this one? Again, it's we'll find out and see. Could be something interesting. Okay, so that's a tiger trout. Not too exciting. Again, we've caught them before, so that's why I'm not too excited about them. Because it's literally just the Dorado. It's literally the only one. Let's grab that chest as well while we're here. Nope, that wasn't there long enough. Another tiger trout. Don't care. Come on. I mean, I've got enough of capability to make more magic bait. It's not going to be the end of the world if I don't catch it this season, because the summer is literally around like a couple of days away. So it's definitely feasible. It's just because I had no major plans for Friday, other than attempting to get further in the Skull Caves, which I've achieved. So I don't have to worry about that as a task. So I'm less concerned, really. But oh well. A catfish. Again, something I am going to try at some point when I go back out to the States, which may happen at some point. I don't know. I think me heading stateside will probably be a couple of years again. I've got many plans at the moment, as some of my holidays are. Oh, a midnight carp. Oh, I needed a midnight carp. Oh, that's useful. But yes, my travel plans at the moment are I want to go to Japan. Never been. And I think it'd be a really fun excursion to go with a couple of friends. And I'm taking a lot of trips out to the Netherlands at the moment because it is somewhere of interest to me. And not because of the reasons you might expect me, being that I'm a random Brit. I'm painfully aware of the Dutch government going, hey, hit me out. Can you not? Could you not send any British people over to us, please? Because you're a bunch of menaces. And trust me, I hate that stereotype about British, especially British men on holiday. I know we're absolutely awful. It's literally a walking stereotype, and it hurts me. It hurts me so much in every way. But oh well. It's just a burden I have to bear. Okay, come on. What are we going to catch here now? Hopefully something exciting. Because exciting would be good. Whether it's going to be is a very different question, I think. It could be exciting or it could be completely boring and pointless. Now, well, tiger trout. I mean, not the end of the world, just not that exciting. What's this one being? It's been quite slow, isn't it? Like, it's not like a feisty, difficult fish, this one, which is nice at least. Okay, a pike. They're usually quite angry, I thought. Don't know what's going on with that one then. Not too much to complain about on that one then. If it wants to be easily caught, then I'm not going to be upset. Oh wow, green algae, just what I really wanted. Oh man, something to write home about. What's this one? Go on, be something exciting. Go on. Nope, just a chub. Always a flipping chub. I think that's the thing is though, like I believe that Magic Bait allows you to catch any fish at any time of the year, but I believe it's still limited to the location. I could be wrong on that. Because again, it wouldn't be the first time for me to be wrong about something. As I'm painfully aware, I'm just an idiot on the internet. And you shouldn't always take my word as gospel. I say always, probably shouldn't ever. For I am just the walrus. Goo goo goo. Now, I think one of the things I've been debating at the moment is trying to figure out if I could make a mod that could replace my head with that of a walrus in the game. I've got it! I've got the Dorado! Yes! Oh, yes. I'm well chuffed with that. Excellent stuff. We've got all the fish. All of the fish are mine. All of them. Oh my. I'm super pleased now. Because that is fantastic. That's everything I needed. That's the Dorado. Fantastic. Fandabidoozy. Well, I am very pleased with myself now. Let's just cast a couple more times, see what we can catch. It might be something useful. Probably not, but it might be. You never know. Okay, we've got a pike. Don't really care for that, to be fair. A pike, it's just a big pointy stick that you stab people with. No. I think it's a bit of a moot point now, though. I've got the Dorado, and I'm just a little bit excited. I'm just on cloud 9. I'm well chuffed because that's another part of this game sorted and out of the way. Now, the other things that I do need to do are play through Journey of the Prairie King. Now, the trouble with it that I have is I know I've completed it a couple of times. I've got the achievement for not dying in it. It's not the end of the world level of difficulty. It is a challenging game, undeniably, but it's not like absurd. It's not exactly Dark Souls, is it? But it is very boring to watch. I am painfully aware that it is not the most thrilling or exciting of things to actually watch somebody play, because you can sink a lot of hours into it. And one of the things, of course, is that, well, you'll be there a while, because it doesn't, time doesn't progress in the same way in the game. So it could be very, very, very boring. And I don't really want to play a game of that and just keep solidly playing it, because that's what I will do. I'll just sit at the arcade and just keep playing it. Same with Junimo Kart, even though I absolutely despise Junimo Kart because I'm really bad at it. So there's a thing for your data banks for you to know. I'm really bad at Junimo Kart, and it needs to go away into a hole and burn. That's literally all I care for it. I don't like it because I'm bad at it. Which might be just me being salty because I'm bad at it. But meh. That's how that works. Right, so we're going to cook up a couple of things. Can I make that? Now, what else do I need to cook? Seafoam pudding. So I don't have the flounder. I thought I had a flounder in here. Okay, so that's annoying. I'm going to have to catch a flounder wherever the hell I catch them and whatever time of year I catch them. I believe they're a sea fish. I don't know if they're in the summer. I'm going to try and catch one during the next few days. And if I can't, then, well, I will just assume that I can only catch them by using some magic bait. Though at the same time, I'm pretty sure I've seen them on Ginger Island as well. So we're going to give that a try. We will see and hope for the best on that one. Because you never know, it might work out all right. It might also go horribly wrong. That's literally how this game works. Okay, so there's not actually much more that I haven't well, that I could cook that I don't already have the capability of cooking. Which, you know, that's a pretty nifty thing. I'm feeling quite pleased with myself on that. That's pretty good. Like, really? It's going to be a bit of a let's have a look and see if there's anything else that we can do. But hey, it's good. Okay, so let's fling all those in here. That's all hunky-dory. That's great. Okay. Yeah. So, let's just quickly check something, though. I've got an itching, like, feeling in my brain. So I want to double-check something in the town. So let's see. Anything else? I've got no quests currently available, like, needing to be done, because I've done them all, which is good. Okay, so you want a scorpion. Why the hell do you want a scorpion cark, Evelyn? What on earth is going on in your life that you need a venomous carp? Like, what are you doing to George? Now, one of the things I do need is a large quantity of bug meat, because to make the special magic bait, I need bug meat. And to do that, let's go into the sewers, because there's lots of bugs. And it's quite a good source of, well, meat. Well, let's just fling all this stuff away now, because we don't need it right now, at least. That's, well, chodoi. That's the logic on this bit. Now, as I mentioned, the bugs are going to be one of the biggest parts for me. Because, of course, it's the quantity of the meat that I need. And one of the oddities really is that there are a few places that you can get the bug meat easily. And there are the floors when they're on challenge mode, where it's the forest. That's quite a good place for bug meat. As is, well, in here, the sewers. The sewers themselves gives you a good opportunity to get meat. Because there are lots of bugs, there's lots of grass, which again is useful for just general fibre, which is going to be kind of handy anyway. But it's the use of the meat, which, as silly as it is I need it, because I need more of the special magic bait. And it's not exactly a challenge to kill the creatures in here. I think that's really what it boils down to. They're very squishy. They're very easy to kill. It's not like I have to worry so much. If they were harder enemies, then yeah, maybe I'd be a bit more concerned about it. But really, nah, it's not a problem. Literally no worries at all. So yeah, that's a big thing that I'm going to have to do. Whilst I'm here, is just work my way through the bug cave bits in the sewers, get as many of them done as possible, because again, I just need the bug meat. Right, so heading on back to the house is going to be a big moment of truth here for this bit. I say moment of truth. It's just dumping everything in boxes. And because we're coming to that point in the video, I will prepare to bid everyone a fond farewell. So thank you very much for tuning in, if you have. Well, if you have, of course you have. You're watching the video. Goodness gracious, I'm such a nana. But yes, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen today. If you did enjoy it, please do leave a comment. If you didn't enjoy it, you leave a comment. Tell me why. Because, you know, I do take the criticisms on board. I want to improve my ability to make good videos, and I want to do fun stuff. That's why I do this. Not for the money, but, you know, for the love of it. But I will definitely admit I have my first Patreon has subscribed, so a big thanks goes out to you, you absolute champion. I'm not to the stage where I can be like, oh man, it's these patrons who keep me in this job. Hey, who wouldn't like that to be the case? But it's extra money that I can spend on coffee. Currently, it's my allocated extra coffee budget break. And that's what I'm going to have. I'm going to have extra coffee based on it. But again, thank you for watching, and hopefully I will catch you the next time that the Walrus plays Stardew Valley.